One, two, one, two. All right, let's roll.
Welcome. You're listening to the Saddle Up Podcast,
where we discuss everything related to UTRGV athletics. Past or present, we'll catch up with old teammates, friends, and take you down memory lane.
With exclusive interviews.
This is the Saddle Up Podcast,
the voice of your covered walkway streets.
So dope.
This is gonna be awesome.
Stay tuned for new episodes every week.
From Bronx Village to the Fieldhouse,
we'll cover it all.
Hell yeah, dude. Carpe diem.
So saddle up and let's go.
Let's go. Saddle up, partner.
Guys, welcome to another episode of Saddle Up Podcast. I'm your co-host, Matt. Obviously, I got my main man, GG. What's up? B's up.
How y'all doing? B's up, baby.
And this week, we have a very, 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 very special guest, none other than Coach Clint Conque. And you might be asking, who is Coach Clint Conque, right? Well, he is the father of Chasse Conque, the athletic director. And Chase has no idea that we brought his father on to the episode. And we're going to talk about what Coach has been doing in his past, but then also, we're going to bring up Chase. So this is a really exciting episode. We're going to bring up Chase
a little bit.
Yeah, we're going to bring up Chase just a little bit. Yeah. So
I'll try not to put too much dirt on there, guys. Thanks for having me.
Coach, we're so blessed for you to join us. So thank you. Thank you for joining us.
You bet.
So Coach, kind of give the audience a little bit about your background. You were a college football coach. You've run numerous successful programs in Arkansas and in Texas. Kind of give the audience a little bit about your background. Chase isn't your only son, so kind of talk about what you've got going on personally, and before we dive into what Chase, talking about Chase.
Yeah, I'll sum up my life in about 2 minutes here. Played college football at Nicholls State down in South Louisiana. Played professionally 1 year with the Los Angeles Raiders. Then I got into coaching and spent 35 years, most of that at the collegiate level, a couple of years in high school, long-time assistant, but then I got the head coaching job at the University of Central Arkansas, which is an FCS Division I, which will be in the United Athletic Conference in a couple of years when UTRGV starts playing. Had a great career, was blessed to have outstanding coaches and players, did some pretty remarkable things there in spite of me. And then
all the great coaches always.
That sounds like me and G's podcast. Yeah, G's done great.
Sometimes you got to know when to get out of your own way. You know what I mean? And finished up my career better part of 5 years at Stephen F. Austin down in East Texas at Nacogdoches, and then came back to Arkansas. Of course, all of our kids are grown. My wife and I, Angel, we live here in North Little Rock. We had kept our home here when we left to go to Texas. We moved back in. I'm actually in a completely different, after 35 years of coaching, I got out of that bubble, and now I'm in the industrial chemical sales business and work a couple, 3 days a week. And, the older you get, the more you realize how important time is, and grandchildren, those kind of things. And I still do, to stay in touch with the game, I still do a weekly segment with the big radio station here in Little Rock. As a matter of fact, did it this morning where we talk college football here in the state of Arkansas. And so that keeps me engaged with the game. But, as you mentioned, we do have 3 sons. Chase is our oldest. Very proud of him. Director of athletics at University of Arkansas, Little Rock, and then moved to University of Texas at Rio Grande Valley, and all the special things we'll talk about he's doing there. Our middle son, Denton, was recruited and played football 1 year at West Point, graduated from West Point. Nice. And he's married, has a couple of children. They live in Frisco, Texas. And then our youngest son, Zachary, is married as well. They have a little girl expecting a second. And he lives in McKinney, Texas. And him and his wife are in business together. So we're blessed to have 3 amazing sons, 3 outstanding daughter-in-laws. Couldn't ask for any better there. And then we've got 6 grandchildren with a 7th on its way. So
Congratulations, Coach.
Congratulations.
Blessed beyond what
I'd like to point out
real quick.
Yeah, go ahead, G.
Real quick, man. This is a very important question. I don't want to forget it.
Okay.
And I'm going to put you on the spot, Coach. Who's your favorite son?
Oh, no, you can't do that.
I'm kidding. Don't answer that one.
Whichever one's not mad at me. You know?
Yeah. I love that answer.
That's hilarious.
I got it.
That's hilarious.
Oh,
I would like to point out one of your granddaughters, Coach, was born on May 29th, and she shares a birthday with me. So that's my favorite of your granddaughters. So there you go.
Actually, 2.
Oh, the twins. The twins,
Oh,
right?
that's right.
Yeah.
So I got two favorite granddaughters of yours, Coach. So May 29th.
Funny story. So Chase was married on May 29th. The twins were born on May 29th.
Oh God!
The anniversary is an afterthought. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's all about the twins.
And now I'm part of the family, so now it's like, okay, Matt was born on May 29th, so
right.
there you go.
We'll have a big birthday party, and you get in the jump zone with us next time.
Yeah, exactly. Let's do it.
Boy, well, we got to do it down here in the Valley. You know, we'll pull Matt in from San Diego. Coach, you know, we'll pull you in from Arkansas. You know, all your sons live in Texas, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think you got to make your way down to Texas again. You were here some time ago, right? A little bit ago, like maybe a week or 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, we just spent 2 weeks in the Valley. Our family, my wife and I, Jill and Chase and his family, we have a condo down on the island at South Padre. So spent a little bit of time there, but spent most of our time in Edinburgh with Chase and Lisa and the girls. And we hated to leave, but 2 weeks is a long time to be away from home. My mail was stacked up pretty high, but we had a great trip.
Nice. It's nice weather down here. You have to admit
amazing
that.
Weather. Amazing weather.
Yeah. Well, Coach, unbeknownst to Chase, he had no idea that we set this up. Lisa kind of set it up, and like I said, we're blessed for you to be on the show. But kind of talk to us about how Chase was growing up. You know, as a kid, I know you were focused on your career and you know, being the best coach to the young men that you were. But kind of dive into what Chase was like when he was a kid growing up.
Well, first of all, had no problems out of Chase. Didn't have any problems out of any of the kids, really. But Chase was mature beyond his years. And I will say this, my wife, Angel, you know, when you're coaching, it's 365. And I mean, if you're not in season preparing, you're recruiting. If you're not recruiting, it's off season, spring practice, summer camps. I mean, my wife did an amazing job, really, you know, being the strong in our family and set a great example for our children, and particularly, you know, and Chase being the oldest, just mature beyond his years, had no problems with him. I will say this, you know, when he was young, he played baseball and obviously football, played football through high school, coached youth teams, was very involved with youth, whether it be through our church and or actually, you know, coaching on the court. But the thing that Chase, he was very involved with my career. He would travel with us. I mean, he's been to some amazing places and some amazing stadiums. I mean, he's been to Alabama. He's been to A&M. He's been to the West Coast, the East Coast. So he had that opportunity that a lot of young people don't have to see from the inside a major college or a college football program. And so, but since he was young, he always wanted to run his own athletic department. He wanted to be an athletic. He made up a fictitious school. I mean, now he's really going to get embarrassed. But I mean, he had media guides from probably 50, 60, 70 schools. He may still have those in his attic.
Yeah, that's
very
awesome.
Young age, from a very young age.
Most kids have
really
Playboys
involved with an athletic.
Yeah. Marvel comics or DC comics, you know.
Yeah,
I mean,
he's got media guides.
Yeah.
He's got media guides. That's right. But he made up a fictitious school, and actually it was West Florida, and then West Florida started football. You know, and he was going. It was we kind of chuckle about that, but from an early age, he really wanted to be involved from the administrative side of running a athletic department, being an athletic director, and not many people get to actually meet the dreams and goals that they set when they're young. He's actually living that out. And you know, when I was an assistant at Louisiana Tech, he went to the athletic director. He couldn't have been 10 years old. And you're familiar with the Pittsburgh Steelers terrible towel?
Oh, yeah.
Yellow.
Yes.
Big tradition. Well, we didn't have anything like that. He went to the athletic director and asked him if he could screen print these blue towels, white lettering, and we'll call them tech towels. And he was going to sell them for $5 a piece. That sucker sold thousands of them. He went to the AD at 10 years old, got his blessing, and you look up in the stands, and all these fans are they're twirling around and with their tech towels.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Yeah,
that is.
So
I mean, that's wow.
He knows from a young age what he wanted to do. He got to see, you know, when we traveled, the processes behind the scenes. He got to actually sit in on meetings when he was young, come to off-season workouts and things like that. So he's doing exactly what God intended him to do at this point. And and couldn't be more proud of him.
Well, we're fortunate that he's running UTRGV. I mean, you know, the athletic program, because that's an amazing story. And that's exactly, you know, Lisa kind of hinted at that when we talked to her back at Midnight Madness, and she had mentioned something like that. I'm so glad you brought up that story, because
here's a better one. This is way before cell phones, guys. So I'm at Louisiana Tech, and we take a trip to the West Coast. We were going to play Pacific. Pacific doesn't even play football anymore. But anyway, there we are. We're going to play Pacific, and so my wife couldn't come because we had two younger children at home. So he jumps on the plane with us, and of course we got a big booster congregation going, and we know all those people. And they said, hey, we're going to go to dinner. You're going to be with the team. We'll take Chase with us. Okay, no problem. We should be back, 10:30, 11 o'clock. Okay. They're going to San Francisco now. Okay. We're in Stockton, California. They're going to San Francisco. Well, 11 o'clock goes by, 11:30, 12, 12:30. I'm going, where's my 10-year-old kid? So he comes strolling in about 12:30 or so, and I go, son, I mean, I've been worried sick. Where you been? Well, I've been with Dr. Gerald and Miss Carolyn and then so forth, so on. And I said, well, where'd y'all go? Because, we went down to Fisherman's Wharf and Chinatown. And I'm going, what 10-year-old gets that kind of opportunity to do that? And I was exhausted for the game the next day. I was up.
You're waiting up for your son.
Come home and he's out hobnobbing with major boosters. So
hey, rubbing elbows, man.
I mean, it's crazy. But
he's already smoothing it up like an AD. You gotta talk to the boosters. So
raising money is probably 75% of what you do.
Yeah.
And he learned at a young age who the people were that he needed to get close to.
That's right. It's in his blood, Coach. It's in his blood. And kudos to you, because there are some coaches, for all those coaches out there, and, they do like what you said, they get so engulfed and it becomes their life, and their family sometimes takes the back, they take the back seat. And unfortunately, right. I mean, that's just the pressures and the, everything that comes with coaching. But for you, to involve, Chase and involve your family, in a lot of those situations, you set them up for success. You put them in the right position. So, that's kudos to you as well.
My wife, Angelle, missed out on a lot of trips because we had one or two young kids at home because, Chase is 10 years older than his youngest brother. And, but anyway, he got to experience a few things that a lot of children don't get to experience. And again, he was mature beyond his years. And so he might have
soaked it all in,
but he it was part of the foundation to make him the man he is. And of course, his spiritual life. And,
of course.
My wife has been the glue, to keep everything together while I was out doing what I was doing. And Chase benefited from that as well. When you're an assistant coach, you don't get to make schedules.
Right.
You keep the schedule. But when you become a head coach, you get to set the schedule.
That's right.
I was a little bit more involved later in Chase's, growing up. And certainly the two younger kids benefited from that because, hey, if I needed to go to a high school game and leave early, then I could set the schedule to do that,
Yeah.
And so,
That's right.
But anyway, there's a lot of stories like that. I mean, he was at Alabama. We beat Alabama in '99. I was the offensive coordinator at Louisiana Tech. Alabama wanted to win the SEC. And, we're playing at Legion Field. We throw a touchdown pass literally on the last play of the game, kick the extra point. I'm in the press box. By the time I get down, you got, 75,000 people. The first person I see? Chasse Conque. He's literally about to fall out the stands ecstatic, him and his friend. That car ride home was a lot of fun.
Well, he's definitely carrying over that passion into what he's doing right now with UTRGV.
And then,
and he always wanted to be at a school with a football program, and he's having an opportunity to build that thing from the ground up. Working with a lot of fabulous people, starting with Dr. Bailey, through that administrative staff and the commitment they've made. Of course, hiring Travis Bush, which we have some relationship with.
I was gonna ask you about Coach Bush. Yeah, I want to bring that up. But go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, not at all. But he does have an incredible passion for what he's doing, and now that football is on the cusp of being a reality. And how hard he worked with his staff and many, village of others to get that fee passed and approval from the students and the Texas Board of Trustees. It takes a village, but he was out there on point every day. Yep. And he's super excited to see football start, to elevate all the programs, and then, of course, to get a Division I football program in the Valley.
Yeah. G and I are going to be there fall of 2025 on the field, and we're excited. They've been talking about football since 95, 96. I'm sorry. When I was there, when G and I were there, and it never seemed like it was going to be a reality. It always seemed like it was a pipe dream, but it doesn't surprise me that Chase is one of the ones that kind of got it over the hump and is spearheading the momentum, because anybody you talk to on his staff, they just rave about his leadership and then his community spirit. It just
and Matt, everybody else has to do it, because now meeting Coach, how modest he is, and giving credit to everyone else, now we know where Chase gets it from.
Exactly.
Chase will never, ever speak highly of himself or say that he's the reason why this is happening. And that's why we love him so much. And that's why we really value the relationship that we have with him, because he gives credit to everyone else, and that is an awesome trait to have as a human being.
Well, it takes a village to definitely undertake something that they're doing now, but it does take a point man that has a vision and a passion, that humility that you're talking about.
You're right.
To get it over the finish line and then to actually make it a reality. And fellas, in September of 2025, it will be a reality.
Are you going to be there, Coach? You're going to be there with us, right?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah. Let's tailgate, brother.
Let's tailgate a little bit, Coach.
He when he was at school at the University of Central Arkansas, him and my wife are the ones that really got tailgating started in the year 2000 here. I mean, look, when this guy was a undergraduate in college, small school, we're trying to generate momentum. We're new to the area, but he would go around campus and put out flyers and chalk the sidewalks, him and his buddies, and they would have they would get in cars and follow each other to the game. And really now tailgating at Central Arkansas is an incredible experience, because I believe of what my wife Angel did, and of course Chase. Now, of course, she's a great Cajun cook. She's from South Louisiana, so she cooked gumbo, and they would flock to her tailgate. And she may be the only tailgate out there. And then all of a sudden,
I can't wait for that.
More tents.
I can't wait for that.
Oh yeah. And so anyway, he has seen a lot of things from the inside out and from behind the curtains, and he's taken all that with an incredible staff that he has hired, with tremendous support from the administration, and he's trying to raise all boats. There's an incredible amount of construction going on with baseball and volleyball, both the male, female sports, adding, I guess, swimming and dive. And so he's trying to lift all boats. And then certainly when football comes on board, it'll be a piece, maybe a centerpiece, but definitely a piece. And I think the Valley's ready for college
I do too.
football.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. And speaking of football, kind of dive into that history with Coach Bush. Like you kind of touched on it before. G and I kind of know the story, but tell the audience what the history is.
Well, before I'd ever met Travis, he was coaching at Texas State, and they run our conference. And so I coached against Travis when he was at Texas State. I think he was the offensive coordinator. And then when Larry Coker started the program at UTSA, he hired Travis to be the offensive coordinator. In their second year, their second recruiting class, they recruited our youngest son, Zach Conque. And Travis was the lead recruiter, along with Perry Aliano, who he had coached with me in the past and was on that staff. But Travis was the quarterback coach and offensive coordinator. So he made several trips to Arkansas to watch Zach play. He made a couple of trips to our home. He had some gumbo, when he was here. And so we forged a relationship with Travis during that period of time. Now, with that being said, right after signing day, my wife got a phone call from Travis to, indicate to us that he was taking the offensive coordinator's job at the University of Houston. So that didn't sit great,
that hurts.
But, we understand the profession. Certainly my wife does. She is the daughter of a coach. Her dad was a high school and college coach as well. And so we understand. We were disappointed. But Zach went and spent 2 seasons at UTSA. And then, when that thing kind of was blowing up and they moved on from Coach Coker, he ended up transferring to Stephen F. Austin and finishing his career with me. Nice. But we go back to Travis all the way back to when they were recruiting our 17-year-old son out of Little Rock, California.
Full circle. Now
Travis
he's leading the program.
I really believe Chase made a great hire there. His dad's an iconic high school coach from the Valley. He spent some time as a youth in the Valley. His wife may be from down that way as well. So he has spent quite a bit of time San Antonio South, I-10 South, and has a lot of ties to the area. So I know he's putting together a great staff, and there'll be a bunch of challenges early. I mean,
with all
you don't go from zero. You don't go from 0 to 100. I mean, they don't have the first football or cleat yet. They don't have a helmet. So they will pretty soon. But I'm confident that Travis will do a good job and lay a great foundation for that football program.
Well, Coach, it's unbelievable. We had a chance to interview the men's and women's basketball coach, and we got a tour around the campus and the facilities and whatnot, and we got to meet some of the other coaches. Coach Matlock, we know Coach Lowry is a great friend of ours. I mean, the staff, the coaches that Chase is putting together, they all have the same qualities. I mean, you can just tell. You can tell that. What Chase looks for in an individual, and a coach and a mentor and whatnot. And that's just amazing. It's amazing. You mentioned that Coach Bush was a great hire. He's got great coaches running his teams.
I haven't had the pleasure of meeting all of them. I've met several of them. And, the thing that I think that he saw, because growing up, he saw me hire a lot of coaches. Unfortunately, he saw me have to let go a few coaches. But you take all that information. When he was an assistant athletic director and an athletic director at other places, you take all that, and you're looking for good people. Number one, and then number two, you're looking for someone that can be an expert in their trade. And then certainly if there's some pedigree or a resume there, someone that comes from a background of success. And, again, I've not spoken to him about these things, but I think what you see, I see the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other thing is he's going to let his coaches coach.
Mm-hmm.
And, he's going to be around and he wants to be involved. But he's at 30,000 feet on so many other things.
Yeah.
I know Molly Castor is assistant.
Molly's awesome.
A wonderful person. And she handles she's in the weeds with a lot of things. And, but Chase has hired some awesome people and he lets them coach and gives them the resources and the tools that he can give them. And then lets them do their job and recruit. And he's involved. I mean, he's going to be involved in the process, but at the end of the day, he's going to let the people that he hired do the job that they were hired to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, Coach,
definitely learn from the best.
Yeah. We've got about 5 more minutes left, and usually we have G's questions, right? Where G asks, a round of questions about the Valley, But one
I
question.
I do have one.
I've got one also.
Okay. Shoot.
What is your favorite? I know you've got 3 boys, and I get that, but what is your fondest memory of Chase? Whether it be when he was a young boy or whether it be as a man, what is your fondest memory of your oldest son?
I don't know if there's one.
I'm sure there's more, but
I don't know if there's one single thing. And this is going to sound drippy, and I don't mean it to be. But the man that he is, the husband that he is, and the father that he is, and the leader that he is, that makes me, as a father, that's the proudest that I could be.
Yeah.
And obviously when he got married to Lisa, couldn't have asked for a better sidekick. The birth of his girls. I mean, all those are monumental things. Just his support of me. I mean, there's a bunch of things, but really and truly, just the man he is, the leader, the husband, and the father that he is, makes you feel good as a dad.
That's awesome, Coach.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
What's yours, G?
Coach, I don't want to follow up with one of my questions after that.
Let's go.
No, we got. Well, it's always about restaurants. It's always about restaurants with me, about the best place to eat. Whenever you come down, I know you spent some time down here. So I'm a foodie. My wife is a foodie. My kids, they can't, they don't like, eating my food because they just want, everything else.
Because he can't cook.
So maybe they'll like your wife's gumbo someday. I'm going to have to expose them to that. But what is it? What is the favorite? I mean, when you came down here, whether it's the island, Brownsville, wherever, what's your favorite place to take the family? Where's your favorite place to eat?
Well, Wana on the island.
Oh yeah, baby.
There you go.
I mean,
that's
you gotta have a turbo and some bull shrimp.
That's
right?
a first right there. That's amazing, Coach.
Yep, you gotta have that.
So glad I asked it.
I like sitting in the background, listening to music at Laguna Bob's, eating a little ceviche. I like that.
Oh man.
And then
that's beautiful.
And look, there's a lot of good places I've eaten in Edinburgh, but I really like Zamora's. For Mexican food, I really like Zamora's.
Yeah.
I mean, Papados. I mean, there's a bunch of good places that I haven't eaten at. I need to get my son to take me to more of them.
Yeah. He knows enough people around town. He should be taking you to some really good restaurants.
So, we're gonna get after him.
We're gonna get after
him on that.
Yeah.
But hey, I tell you what, I'd never been to the Valley. My wife and I, Chase takes the job, and then we go down there, and so impressed with the people, so impressed with the support down there. What Dr. Bailey's done with the university, his hires, obviously he hired Chase. I mean, the medical center. I mean, there's just so many things that are going on, and you just got great leadership from the top. And I know that my son's very fortunate and blessed to be a part of it.
Well, we're blessed to have him a part of it as well. Like we're really blessed for him to lead it.
Yeah.
So.
Well, Coach, thank you for giving us the heads up on the restaurants. I'm sure But one place you got to try when you come down here. One of our sponsors is Wing Barn.
Got to go to
Or
Wing
Wing
Bar,
Barn.
Coach.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
I
got to
love
go to
wings.
Wing Barn.
Yeah.
Really
All
good
right.
really good wings, burgers, turkey burgers. They got a it's a lot of stuff on there, desserts. So yeah,
And
we'll
Coach,
definitely meet you down there.
I think when you talk to Chase, you need to highly recommend that he takes me there.
oh yeah. And Coach, if you're really
We
good to
will.
G's got a bunch of gift certificates, so he can,
Ooh,
he can give.
definitely.
Coach, I got
We'll
one more
hook it up,
question,
Coach.
so you can win
We'll
the
hook it
Wing
up.
Barn trivia. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, good question. Maybe The Sting. That's an old one.
There you
The
go.
Sting.
You just
Yeah.
won the Wing Barn trivia. You get some gift certificates from G's. So there you
Yes,
go.
sir. All right.
All
But
right,
you got to
y'all
go
hold
with
on
me
to
though.
that
We
till
got
I
to go
come back.
together.
You got to go
We
together.
got to go together. Yeah.
Absolutely. Guys, thanks for having me on. I hope I shared
Thank
a
you,
little bit
Coach.
of insight on Chase. Hey, but when you do see him, or you interview him next, you need to ask him about his Lego stadium. He made stadiums out of Legos. So you need to ask him about that. All right. I'll just leave it at that.
Love it. Coach
Thank you,
Conque, thank
Coach.
you for joining the
Appreciate you
show.
so much.
V's up. God bless
V's
to
up.
you and your wife, to your family, your granddaughters. Blessings to the new granddaughter or the grandbaby that's on the way. So you're welcome back to the show anytime, Coach. Thank you so much.
I look forward
Thank
to meeting you guys in person. Thanks for having me.
Like we weren't supposed to come up with something this clean, like something happened.